Hello Namco Museum fans, and welcome to special episode 8. In this episode, I'll be talking about Namco Anthology 1 and Namco Anthology 2. Namco Anthology 1 and Namco Anthology 2 was a Japan-only PlayStation 1 game released in 1998. No one in the United States has ever heard of that game, because it's only released in Japan. 2 years ago, I was lucky enough to get a Japanese PlayStation free from eBay, and Namco Anthology 1 as well. Namco Anthology 1 and Namco Anthology 2 has 4 games each. Some are NES or Famicom games, while others are Sega Genesis or Sega Mega Drive games. The game select is sort of like a web page. What's so special about Namco Anthology 1 and Namco Anthology 2 is that each game contains an enhanced version, and these enhanced versions have better graphics, better music, and better sound effects. Some better stuff that NES or Sega Mega Drive games do not have. My personal favorite in these enhanced versions was Star Luster. I talked about that game in my Bosconian documentary, as it was part of the Bosconian series, since it took place centuries after the war. Like I said before in the Bosconian documentary, in adventure and conquest mode, you have to collect all the keys to find the Dark Planet. To collect the keys, you have to defend the planets from enemy attack. Sometimes, Strategy Wiki will give you hints. I wish Bandai Namco re-released this enhanced version of Star Luster onto a new Namco Museum game, which I requested on episode 11. Now, let's talk about the enhanced versions. Tower of Babel, aka Mystery Tower, was a puzzle platformer game released in 1986 on NES or Famicom, only in Japan. The enhanced version was released in 1998. The setting takes place in the Tower of Babel, based on a true story I heard from church. You play as an archaeologist with a pointy nose and a pointy hat. His mission is to find the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Since he read the ancient scriptures, the only way to find them is to reach to the top of the tower. It has 64 floors. To complete a level, you have to enter a doorway. There are stairway symbols you need to collect to unlock new levels. You'll encounter L-shaped blocks, and you can use them as staircase. You can carry them, but it'll use up your strength. To replenish your strength, you have to collect some bases. You can defeat enemies by dropping the L blocks onto them. I never got that far in the game because 1. The 64th floor, which is the final floor, needs you to use the password. You must collect pieces of the passwords in different floors. Strategy Wiki told me how to find the pieces, however it's not going to be easy since this is the enhanced version I was playing. Wrestle Ball, aka Powerball, was a sports game released in 1991 on the Sega Mega Drive. The enhanced version is way better. The sport you're playing in this game was a mix between rugby and football, which means you can attack opponents in this game. By the time you have the ball, you can hold down the attack button to charge your attack, and then let go to throw your ball, and then hit other enemies. This game is a time limit challenge. You can earn more points if you make a touchdown, just like in football. There are different playing modes you can choose from, such as the WB League, which is the story mode, or 2-player mode where they fight against each other, or 1 player versus a computer. Each team from different countries have different powers and different abilities, or different strengths. I personally choose the Japan Karate Thrashers because they are much stronger. Sengokushi 2, How no Tairiku, or Conqueror's Continent, was a battle strategy game released in 1992 on a Super Famicom, only in Japan. The enhanced version was made in 1998. Don't know much about the game because I'm not good at strategy games. According to the YouTube videos, you click around the map and try to recruit new soldiers before you head into battle. As you might know, this game takes place in the Three Kingdoms era in China. As you win battles, you'll have to fight the general. Never played that game myself because the dialogue, including the menu selection, is in Japanese. I was able to translate with my phone using Google Translate. If this game ever got released in the United States, it should be in English. Namco Classics 2, which is a golf game released in 1992 on the Super Famicom, and the enhanced version was released in 1998 on Namco Anthology 2. You choose which anime golfer you want to play as, and the main object of the game is similar to golf. When you're ready to swing, the bar will show up showing how strong your swing's going to be, and when you press the button, you swing and hit the golf ball. King of Kings was an RPG strategy game released on the Famicom in 1988 only in Japan. Again, I am not very good at strategy games. Based on the YouTube videos I watched, your goal is to build an army, however you have a limited amount of money. You can buy different types of soldiers such as the goblin or human soldiers or any type of soldier. Once you buy a soldier, you move the soldier to different parts of the map. Once you set up your soldiers, humans or creatures alike, you're ready for the battle. However, you take turns in the game, and you defeat an enemy when you get the more U points, which I assume. Leveling up is very important in this game. Pack Attack, which I remember very well, was released in 1993 on the SNES and Sega Genesis. The enhanced version was released in 1998. Like I said, Special Episode 1, which is a documentary of Pac-Man, is similar to Tetris, but in Pac-Man way. The puzzle modes included. However, in the enhanced version, I believe selecting Tutorials mode might be the puzzle mode. Valkyrie no Boken, aka The Adventures of Valkyrie, was released on the Famicom in 1986. This game is like The Legend of Zelda almost, but not quite. The enhanced version of Valkyrie no Boken was released in 1998. In the game, you play as a warrior from the heavens named Valkyrie, and your mission is to save the world from the wizard who escaped from the clock tower. Leveling up is important in this game. So is money. There are some power-ups in the game that you can find, or buy from the shopkeeper, if you have enough money. You have an inventory in the game, but the inventory is limited. There are magic spells you can cast to defeat your enemies, or heal yourself. Money will appear if you defeat enemies. Also, the health is very important. To be honest with you folks, I played Valkyrie no Densetsu first, the English translated version which is on Namco Museum Volume 5 on the PlayStation 1. I played that game when I was a teenager. Namco Anthology was the greatest game I ever played. It was the main reason why I request 3 remakes on episode 1 on my channel. Same with the Namco Museum series. I collect some Namco Museum games to get the games I want. Xevious Resurrection was the main reason why I bought Namco Museum Essentials on the PlayStation 3. However, by the time I was 20, I remember how disappointed and shocked I was when I discovered they removed Namco Museum Essentials from the PlayStation Network store in 2018. I have the game, but it's on my mom's account. By the time I bought the PlayStation Free, my own PlayStation Free, which is the USA PlayStation Free, I uploaded my mother's account to get the game with her help. And I do appreciate her help. Thank you, Mom. There are some other Namco games that are Japan only that I wanted to play, and I hope that they are released on the new Namco Museum games. Just like I wish for the enhanced version of Star Luster to be on Namco Museum. That's all I can tell you about Namco Anthology 1 and Namco Anthology 2. They are the prime examples of 3D remakes. In 2 weeks, I'll be talking about the race car games developed by Namco. See you in 2 weeks.